Well, the question is that this bill be agreed to in principle. I call the member for Coogee.
Thank you, Mr Acting Speaker. I rise to speak in favour of the Local Government Amendment Bill 2011. I'd like to speak in particular to the change to the optional preferential voting. I was on, still am on Randwick City Council, and when it was controlled by the Labor Party, who had outright control, we were quite expecting that the number of councillors per ward would be reduced. The Labor Party, led by Dominic Sullivan, and his able deputy was the leader of the House Leader for the opposition, Michael Daly. Anyway, they dropped the ball and didn't manage to get it in on time, and so Randwick today still has 3 councillors per ward, but that's unlike Botany next door, where out of the last 3 elections, 2 elections haven't been held because there has been nobody that's actually contested the election. So it's saving money, the member for Fairfield says, but what it is, it's depriving people of the opportunity to participate in the democratic process locally. The fact is that optional preferential voting discourages other people from standing for council, and we find that we have a lack of diversity in those of representation in those areas. I know that the Greens have been concerned with that the only way to address this is by having 3 councillors per ward, but this bill put forward by our very able minister will require a new method. It will require optional preferential voting for those just voting for 1 councillor per ward, or proportional representation for 2 councillors per ward. Now, voting just for 1 councillor per ward would be very unique, you would think, but there is 1 council in New South Wales that has a system of 1 councillor per ward and 6 wards, so 6 councillors, 1 councillor in each ward, and that's Botany Bay City Council. Now, most people in the city of Botany would be completely unaware of it because it was slipped through back advertised apparently in the Sydney Morning Herald back in 2008, in the back pages somewhere in the classifieds. This was the public consultation that Botany Bay City Council undertook, and we were the member for Heffron was in this house yesterday proclaiming how she was a great advocate of community consultation and criticising this government, and yet in her own seat, Botany City Council, in the seat of Heffron, by stealth, passed this back in 2008 and reconfirmed it after the last local government election in 2008. So most people in Botany, and if not all people in Botany except the councillors, would be unaware that they are the only council in this state that has 1 councillor in each ward. And in fact, it was so hidden away that it was just, there's nothing about it on the website except in the school resources section, the schools resources section. So I'm fully in support of this change in the voting system. I know that it will address those concerns held by the Greens that believe that there isn't the diversity that should be seen on our local councils, and I want to congratulate the Minister for this bill. This bill's about transparency, it's about good governance, it's long-needed reforms, and I commend the bill to the House.
Well done. Well done.